so.
Hello, outnumbered overtime. Woo! Oh, gee, baby. We're walking back to the set. It is 94 right now, I think it is.
Hot.
So it's
warm.
And we're going to walk up to the set. We're going to sit down. And let's go around our camera person now. Sorry, but I'm going to go on these metal stairs.
What a difference in the
here.
shade. Sweat dripping off.
Yeah, I mean, it is really warm. So let's make our way back up there. Is everybody coming back up? Ooh, don't touch the handrails. They're on fire. Where's my seat? All right. How are you guys doing up here? It smells like pizza. Did you bring us any? All right. So on Overtime today, let's talk a little bit with Governor Huckabee, who joined us for the TV version of us, about getting ready for life's biggest moments. You always have such great kernels of knowledge. And I know you've got to go.
Yes, so thank you guys. Thank you again. I know the thing will go around, but we're grateful.
Sandra, was it something I said?
I know.
No.
We're so grateful.
We're all running around doing stuff here.
All right.
Bye, babe.
Bye.
Big moments in life. Some wisdom from the governor.
I think we learn most things that change our lives from our failures, not our successes.
That is so true.
A character is far more about how do you respond to the things that didn't go your way rather than the things that did.
Wow.
Do you mind if I asking you a question? How does your family deal with the criticism and just the harshness of being in a political family?
And they've had some harsh things. I mean, it was a brutal environment in Arkansas. My kids grew up with some of the most horrible things. But, you know, the perspective that they had, and I'm so grateful. They were asked one time in an interview, and I was listening very, very carefully, how do you deal with it all? And they said, well, you know, we hate seeing our mother and father beaten up, and we hate to be beaten up and trashed in papers. But, you know, we've gotten to do some pretty cool things, too. And they said it all balances out. And I thought, how refreshing, because as you know too well, because you've seen a lot of political families as well, it can give a family something to rally around. It can also destroy them. And it's a tough life. But I'm grateful. And I think I give a lot of credit to their mother, who tried to always, you know, keep them shielded as much as possible. And when she couldn't, she would also try to keep it in perspective.
I just always wondered how other families do it.
Yeah, you know, Monica, I know you've given a lot of advice to people on getting ready for, and really what you're kind of shielding them for is kind of, from a strategist point of view, is how to win and take the criticism after that big speech or whatever. What do you tell?
Well, you know, you have to develop a thick skin to make it through life anyway, regardless of what your profession is. And this is what we were talking about during the show with this whole generation. And obviously not everybody. There are kids who are raised well and ready for the real world. But what I worry about culturally is that so many, particularly in the younger generation, aren't developing that thick skin. Life is not easy. Life has a lot of pain. Even when you're blessed and you have faith and a strong family, there's a lot of hardship in life for anybody. And so what I usually tell, especially younger folks, is, you know, try to steel yourself as much as you can. Faith always helps. If you don't want to go down that road, make sure you have a great support system, friends, family, people that you trust, clergy, to have a good network of people that you can really trust, so that when bad things do happen, and they will, into every life rain will fall, that you are prepared emotionally and spiritually for those things.
And I think we need to make sure that everybody grows up understanding everybody does not get a trophy. Not everybody is
or
going to
what
win.
They want.
You're going to go into some things.
Most of the time, you don't get what you want in life.
Yeah. And it's a great lesson, but it's a hard lesson. But if we're teaching kids that everybody does get a trophy, everybody's a winner, everybody's going to get an A, everybody's going to be provided a safe space, we're not helping kids, we're ruining them. We are destroying their future.
I agree with that.
You know, my parents, you know, now that I'm a parent, I realize they're so smart.
Right?
Sorry, Mom and Dad, I didn't know that when I was actually living under your roof. But, you know, they used to tell me that, you know, you take your A game and you really go for it, and if it doesn't work out, you take out your other A game. There are actually no other letters in the alphabet when it's time to play.
Yeah.
And it's something that I really value now, because just when things are not working out, that's an opportunity, and I'm strong in my faith, for the Lord to come in and do something that you didn't anticipate, and that can be bigger than what you were going for, but you got to be open to it.
Right, and you have to trust in Him.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have faith and trust in God, that you think you want something, but one of my favorite Bible verses is, my ways are not your ways, saith the Lord. Meaning you think you want this, and if you don't get it, you're crushed, you're upset, whether it's a boyfriend, a job, whatever it might be. But God has something better in store if you have the faith to put it on his shoulders and let him put you in the right direction.
And the patience, right, Megan? I mean, that's the thing. It's so hard as I'm raising the next generation to teach them patience. Everything is like a Pop-Tart in life for kids now. It's so quick.
It's true.
I think, too, we need to learn that life is a series of detours. We think it's destinations, and we set out for a destination, and then we get detoured and detoured. The detours become the destinations, and we learn from the detours, and that's always going to be a part of it. And if we get angry that we've had a detour, then we're going to always be angry in life. We'll never have any joy.
Yeah.
Accept the detour as part of God's plan to get us where we need to be rather than where we thought we needed to be. Big difference.
Do you still get disappointed sometimes?
All the time.
So much success.
I had a little disappointment this past year. I mean, of course, you bet.
You handled it so well, I couldn't tell.
Well, look, I'm
we
old
don't
enough.
See it as the public.
Well, here's the thing. I'm old enough now. I've been through enough disappointments and hurts, and I realize it's just part of it. You give it your best shot, but if you don't, find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, okay, well, suck it up and move on. You can't sit there and whine about it.
To toggle to politics now, you saw what Senator Ted Cruz, and I'm seeing a lot of social media actually reflecting what Megan said, that, they were supportive. If he really isn't in it with Donald Trump, he should say it and be honest. But you saw people in that room who maybe had a favorite candidate early on, and of course you ran, so I would think that you were your favorite candidate.
I was my favorite candidate,
But if Donald Trump came and asked you to do something, what do you say?
Well, I think if you can't do it in good conscience, you just tell him, no, I can't be on your stage because I wouldn't be there in good conscience. The right answer for Ted Cruz when he was asked to speak was to say, I just can't go on that stage because I'm going to be expected to endorse you. I can't endorse you. I'm going to just break my word. But I'm not going to go and make a national spectacle of it. That was the big mistake. I mean, the first mistake, he didn't honor his word. The second mistake was he wanted it to be about himself, so he went ahead and crashed the party. He walked in, pushed the birthday cake all over the floor, and peed in the punch bowl. I'm sorry, but that's
my first grader had a party that was kind of like that without the punch bowl part a couple of years ago. I'm
sorry, that's an image that's going to live with you for a long time.
I'm curious because I also saw some blowback while we were on the TV version of us. I looked down at my Twitter and they were like, wait a minute. Donald Trump said that he wasn't going to honor his pledge either. I guess the difference is timing. Because he didn't wait until the nominee had already been named and you're on the big stage and you say, no, I'm not going to keep my promise. I guess, or are they the same thing?
There are legitimate differences. Conservatives who are principled, they do have some concerns about Donald Trump, how he would govern. Is he a conservative? There are very real issues out there. But last night at the National Convention was not the place to air them. And what he should have done was take the high road, the classy road, which would have redounded to his benefit 4 years or 8 years from now when he runs again, and basically said, look, we do have our differences, but tonight we're uniting around our nominee. He is the nominee. Donald Trump is not going anywhere. This is the nominee. And, I think about the old Donald Rumsfeld quote when Rumsfeld said, you go to war with the army you have. Donald Trump is the army we have. You might not agree with him on everything. You might not see eye to eye, but now is not the time because we have a bigger enemy in this war, and that's the Democrats and Mrs. Clinton.
Interesting. Okay, so she was tweeting, and she was, Mrs. Clinton had some feedback last night on this and kind of seizing on some.
First of all, she's not even doing it. It's completely disingenuous.
Oh, it's not
Everything is focus grouped. Because she's not that clever. Because delete your account is something that only someone, no disrespect, only under 40 would know. And it's so thirsty. That's a word I use for her often. She is trying so hard when she's making Pokemon Go.
I can think of a more basic reason
not funny.
Why it's disingenuous. She couldn't figure out email.
It is disingenuous. It's completely disingenuous. And I think as Governor Huckabee, you can probably attest to, just be your authentic self as a politician and people will respond. And she's incapable of doing that.
And people know the difference between
the problem for her is her authentic self is so horrible. Like she's such a miserable human being, according to all people's accounts who have dealt with her, from Secret Service to AIDS and everything else. She can't be her authentic self, Megan.
Well, you're probably right.
Gotta fake it.
I'm reading my Twitter and people are responding as you're talking, and also on Facebook because they're watching us on Facebook Live. I'm going through the comments and I can't even keep up. It's been great to have you guys.
Thank you
so very much.
Thank you for having me all week. It's been so
it's
fun.
Been fun. We're going to pop up on Outnumbered, the TV version of us tomorrow from New York. So some of us are leaving tonight to go do that. And Governor, I'll see you again.
Look forward to it,
Very
Harris.
soon.
Thank you very much for having me. Great to be with all
That was
of you.
great to have a little faith talk today. Lift people's spirits, right? Back on TV tomorrow at noon Eastern from New York, Outnumbered will be, and then we'll see you right here on OT, Overtime, online. Have a great day.